As human beings, we're wired for wonder. We feel compelled to stop and soak up the sunset or gaze up at the stars, and there's no better place to do that than camping in the wilderness. In his essay titled Nature, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote about the healing powers of the wilderness. In the presence of nature, he wrote, a wild delight runs through the man, in spite of real sorrows. It may be century-old wisdom, but to this day his theory still holds true. Welcome to Nature Nerds. Camping Edition. We've decided on camping in the Breitenbush area, just outside of Detroit Lake. The road is dotted with campsites along this glacier-fed river, surrounded by ancient forest cathedrals and magnificent mountain vistas. We arrive at dusk, hastily set up camp, and make our way down to the river for a quick look. It's clear this is a pristine area. The color of the water is a brilliant blue-green, and the clarity is remarkable. And let us assure you, after feeling the temperature of the river, we can attest to its glacial nature. The natural beauty of this area can't be overstated. It's wonderfully wild. But darkness begins to set in, and we must head back to the camp. We finish setting up and then begin to prepare the fire. A requirement for any good trip, this will become the central hub of our camp, and also our stove for the next few days. A light drizzle sets in as we eat dinner and lazily lounge around the fire. We go to bed shortly thereafter, excited for the adventures to come. We arise the next morning to some sun trying to break through. Sadly, it will be a fairly rare sight during our trip, but no true adventurer would dare let a little clouds and rain ruin their fun. It rained a fair amount in the night, but our new tent has kept us dry. We rekindle the campfire from the still hot coals of the previous night's fire and begin making breakfast. Eggs and sausage and toast. It's never tasted better than out here in the wild. After eating, we lethargically lounge around the campfire, letting our food digest a bit before we set out for a morning hike around the river. The forest sparkles in the sun, covered in rain and dew from the night before. A wild mountain strawberry grows along the trail, bearing a single ripe fruit. It's quite similar to several of its relative species, but I believe it is Fragaia cascadensis, a recent species found only in the Cascade Mountain Range, first described in 2012. This is Adiantum pidatum, the northern maidenhair fern. Maidenhair ferns are prized by gardeners for their delicate, airy fronds. Maidenhair is sure to evoke memories for avid hikers of enchanting waterfalls, where it commonly grows on cliffs within reach of water spray. This, I believe, is Douglas aster. Rising up to 3 or 4 feet in height with purple flowers, this hardy plant adapts to an incredible range of conditions. They absolutely love these rocky river canyons, as does the next species we find. Here we have some Sedum spartilifolium, also known as broad-leaved stonecrop. An evergreen perennial, it is native to western North America from British Columbia to Southern California, where it can be found in rocky habitats on hills and mountains. Moss is nearly everywhere you look, at least in the Pacific Northwest. Because of that, it seems easy to take for granted just how amazing and diverse it is. Essentially it's a very small, hardy green plant, sometimes only 1 cell thick, that grows quite slowly. On the way back to the camp, we come across a very rare sight, something I've never seen in all my years exploring Oregon, a wild scorpion. Scorpions are one of evolution's greatest successes. They have survived many millions of years, through catastrophes that ended the dinosaurs and more. Through it all, scorpions as a group have experienced no major changes. They are venomous, with their venom being highly specialized by species, ranging from rather harmless to deadly. But there's no need to worry in this case, as this species is our native northwest forest scorpion, Euroctonus mordax. Though they can sting, the species is non-aggressive. They prefer to play dead when disturbed. They look formidable, but the potency of their venom is low, and in a handful of reported experiences the sting has always hurt less than that of a honey bee. They prey on invertebrates, mostly arthropods, but have been observed eating small lizards. Speaking of arthropods, we also stumbled upon this lovely millipede. More closely related to crustaceans than insects, worldwide there are over 10,000 species of millipedes. Tylobolus is a genus of millipedes with 7 known species found in western North America. Tylobolus unsigeelrus, which is what I believe this species to be, is the northernmost species, ranging as far north as Washington. They are scavengers, feeding on decaying vegetation and preferring moist habitats. Millipedes spend most of their lives in the soil and are most active at night. When threatened, they curl their body into a spiral to protect their soft undersides. Many species also have glands that produce irritating fluids for protection. Hiking the grounds is all part of the camping experience, and it's great for your health too. You'll be burning calories, taking in beautiful sights, and boosting your mental health. Researchers at the University of Michigan found that just a few minutes walking in nature can reduce depressive symptoms. In a corroborating study, Stanford University found that spending time outdoors can help reduce rumination, the obsessive, negative thinking that could potentially lead to mental health issues. Happy trails, indeed. We're unsure what kind of wildflower this is, but that takes nothing away from its beauty. As Shakespeare once wrote, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Tired from the hike, we head back to camp. This chipmunk found a hot dog that was dropped on the ground. We didn't get it on film, but he made for good entertainment when trying to unsuccessfully carry the whole hot dog away. Night sets in, and we congregate around the campfire, as humans have done for thousands of years. Time for dinner, followed by drinks and board games. A night full of fun. It was a great trip, and a terrific way to celebrate my 30th birthday, full of friendly faces, exciting adventures, and of course, surrounded by nature. I can't wait to get back out to this area, and explore even more of what it has to offer. We go to bed, physically exhausted but with minds as clear as the Breitenbush River just below us. Tomorrow morning we must pack up and head back to our normal lives. Begrudgingly back to our jobs and other responsibilities, but enthusiastically back to our pets and soft beds. It's a bittersweet feeling that accompanies the end of any great vacation. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Nature Nerds, Camping Edition. We'll see you next time, in a new park, for a new adventure. If you enjoy these videos, please do consider subscribing. Which Oregon park do you want to see us explore next? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you're a truly amazing person and want to give more than a like, our PayPal link is up on the screen. Finally, we'd now like you to step away from the internet and step into nature.